Hi, quick question for all you home chefs and home bakers out there. Quick question, it's just dry measuring cups or liquid measuring cups? Do you use each in a dedicated fashion for the ingredients in your kitchen, whether you're cooking or baking, or do you mix and match? I know growing up, either through my family's or home ec, I'd always been told, or maybe I read it, to use dedicated measuring cups, the liquid version for liquid, and of course the dry for dry. I wasn't really sure if that was necessary. As I started to cook, and then now that I've asked others, I tend to use what works for me in a daily fashion, and it's not always taking a measuring spoon for each and every ingredient. In fact, for seasonings like garlic powder or Italian seasoning, I just tend to wing it with the recipes that I'm already familiar with. If it's a new one, of course, I'm gonna do the measurements. Baking though, I do use dedicated dry measuring ingredients. I don't have a kitchen scale, so I use the other method where I spoon the flour in, level it off, and I'm good to go. Of course, it would not make sense to put flour in a liquid measuring cup. Your flour would be probably too dense and heavy, and thereby impact the structure of the cakes. I also use all the little liquid measuring cups for baking just because of the chemistry involved. I want to be sure that the cakes have the right structure and that they aren't too dry. The other benefit I found of using liquid versus a dry measuring cup when I'm making the main dish, for things like stock and broth, you'll find that it's just that much more accurate to use a liquid measuring cup. These containers have about 4 cups. So if I'm pretty regularly measuring it to be exactly 2 cups, I know, throw it in the fridge, pull it back out for the next recipe, it'll have about 2 cups. How do you measure in your kitchen? Do you use dedicated dry and measuring cups and then liquid measuring cups for the liquid, or do you mix and match? What works for you and what has not worked for you? Curious to know.